Would I Lie to You, the show that not only encourages liars, it rewards them. On David Mitchell's team tonight, it's the star of Pirates of the Caribbean. Johnny Depp knows him. It's Mackenzie Crook. And a naturalist and TV wildlife presenter. Now, look, I'm not going to debase myself by doing cheap double entendres at his expense. I will just give you the ingredients and you can take it from there. Birds, tits, short-haired beavers. Knock yourself out. Chris Packham! And joining Lee Mack tonight, the country's most famous Victoria behind Beckham and Station. It's the writer and broadcaster Victoria Corrin. And a fine comedian who once starred as the voice of the Welsh Tourist Board. Imagine demeaning yourself by appearing in an advert. Rhod Gilbert! And so to round one, Home Truths, where our panellists each read out a statement from the card in front of them. To make things harder, they've never seen the card before and they've got no idea what they'll be faced with. It's up to the opposing team to sort the fact from the fiction. And Rhod is first up. Rhod, please reveal all.
I was sacked from my job at a zoo when my boss found out I had been taking photos of the animals wearing hats.
So, just to clarify, were you wearing the hats or the animals?
No, I was taking photos of the animals wearing hats.
Yes, just to clarify, were you wearing hats or the animals?
Well, you think I was taking photos of animals while I was wearing multiple hats?
I would say that in the world of oddness, a man wearing two hats is no odder than an animal wearing one.
Can you give us some examples of animal hat combos that you took photos of?
Yeah, I've done monkeys in bowler hats.
Of course.
I've done a hippo in a flat cap. And, well, I was going to call him a snake. It wasn't a snake. It was in the reptile house, but I don't know what he was, but he was wearing a fez.
Were these miniature hats, can I ask, Rhod? Were these little animal hats or human hats?
On the hippo? Are you mad?
No, but on the thing in the reptile house, I'm thinking a full-size fez is going to just hide the creature.
Yes, but what you're saying is, were the hats to scale?
Thank you. Rhod, were the hats to scale?
The hats, well, I mean, to scale is a grand way of putting it, but I would certainly try and, try and make the hat fit.
Right.
The top of a hippo's head is actually quite a slippery affair.
Oh, you've got to get the right hat.
What was your official role at the zoo?
General dog's body, basically.
I get the feeling that if you were going to put hats on animals, you'd have gone for deer stalkers and bear skins, you know?
I didn't say I didn't. We just haven't got all the way through the animals.
OK.
Oh, right.
You name a hat, you name an animal.
Deer stalker?
No, I didn't do a deer stalker.
Oh.
I didn't have a deer stalker. It wasn't a comprehensive... You can't
but you had a
fez, every animal.
and you had a massive hippo-sized fez.
It was a regular flat cap.
So what you're saying is
I didn't have every single animal in the zoo, and it wasn't every hat. I didn't cross-reference every single combination of animal and hat. I just put some on some.
Rhod, where was this zoo? Was this a Welsh zoo? Was it Penscunna Bird Gardens, for example?
It was down in Pembrokeshire, in a place called Oaksnade.
Oaksnade?
Yep.
There's a chain of snade zoos, isn't there? There's Oaksnade, Whipsnade...
And how did it all come to an end? What stopped this?
I got caught.
And who was it who apprehended you?
It was the manager of the zoo.
As a zoo owner and manager, I wouldn't have been offended. I can't see anyone being offended by a fez on a snake and a flat cap on a hippo. I'd have been...
Just what the zoo needs.
If it's down there in South Wales at this Oaksnade or something, I'd have thought any little hat on a cat would have done the
Why,
trick.
because it's a Welsh zoo? Our animals aren't good enough in their natural habitat. We'd better dress them up a bit. You racist bastard. Well, David, what do you think?
Well, I'll ask my team first.
I mean, I've never heard of Oaksnade Zoo. Have you ever heard of Oaksnade Zoo?
Is that the most you doubt about that?
Kenzie,
Oaksnade Zoo. Not having it.
My girlfriend owns a zoo. We tour zoos, and Oaksnade's never been on our agenda.
Oaksnade, the zoo that shares a syllable with Whipsnade. I think Mackenzie's right. That's the chink in the otherwise impenetrable armour of plausibility. That Oaksnade Zoo doesn't exist. I think we're very happy to say lie.
You're saying it's a lie, so, Rhod, were you telling the truth or were you telling us a lie?
Well, chaps, I'm afraid I was telling a lie.
Yes, it was a lie. Rhod wasn't sacked from his job at a zoo because he was caught taking photos of animals wearing hats. Mackenzie, you're up next.
Possession.
Possession, right. Now, there's a box, Mackenzie, under the desk. Would you take the possession out, pop it up on the desk, and then read the card for us, please? Oh.
Oh, hello. This is my orchidometer. It was a present from my sister.
What does an orchidometer do?
Yeah, that's true.
I'll tell you what, I've seen one of those and it wasn't called an orchidometer. Admittedly, I haven't seen the whole length of it before.
What's an orchidometer, Mackenzie?
It is a piece of medical apparatus used for determining the size of testicles in male humans.
Why do you need to know the size of male testicles in humans? I'm 42, nobody's ever gone, hey, extra large.
I don't. This was bought for me by my sister.
Wait a minute. What? Some of them are so small, they're tiny.
You'd be surprised.
My sister bought this for me for nostalgic reasons.
Nostalgic?
Yeah. To remind me...
Hang on, if this is to remind you both of the good old days, we don't want to hear it.
Surely nostalgia. In my sister, when I was growing up, you know, as my size fit, she would do a little mark, pencil mark on the kitchen wall. Fair enough, but...
For your testicles?
You know how when someone gives you a jumper, they say, "Oh, try it on now"?
Which one are you? You must have done it.
I've never done it.
You liar!
I've never done it. Why would I want to know?
I'll tell you why, because the second we get out of the studio, I'm doing it, so I know. I want to do it now in front of the audience.
Well, do you know what? I think we'd all be very happy for you to do it now.
Let's do it. Oh, no. Have you watched it?
It hasn't been anywhere near any.
Well, don't bring it to me. I don't want to...
Hey, Rob, bring back memories. Right, I will do it, but I'll do it under the desk.
You're not going to get your...
Come on. One, just one then. Meet me halfway.
Come on, then.
Come on then. This is a real medical thing. Why did your sister get you it?
Because when I was younger, I was a very slight chap, not the
When you were younger, you were slight?
specimen of man.
Blimey, what were you, a stick man?
And I used to have to go to a hospital to be measured in all sorts of creative and
Keep it light.
One of the ways they measured me was using an orchidometer. And,
They measured your testicles with it.
Yeah, not with that one.
What are you going to say?
With your testicle measuring device, you spoilers ambassador.
The question is whether his sister got it for him and not what this is.
His sister got it for him. He's telling the truth. Can you not? Am I?
But this can't be real.
Take those.
This can't be real.
Have a look at him through those. Tell him your sister gave you that as a present.
Have you got truth glasses? They're not allowed on this show.
Lee, it is time to take a guess.
Imagine going to the doctors and going, is that normal to have that many? Take a look at this, Doc. Tell me that's normal. They're purple and it's the wrong amount. OK, what do you think? I'm going to go with it. OK, then. Well, why not? It sounds true.
Saying true. OK, Mackenzie, what's the answer?
It is true.
Well It was true. Mackenzie's sister did buy him that orchidometer. Mackenzie frequently brings it out at dinner parties and uses it as an icebreaker, and more often than not, a morale crusher. And at the end of that round, the scores are level. Our next round is called This Is Mine, where we bring on a mystery guest who's a close connection to one of our panellists. This week, each of David's team will claim that it's them that has the genuine connection to the guest, and it's up to Lee's team to spot who's telling the truth. So please welcome this week's special guest, Simon. So, Mackenzie Crook, what is Simon to you?
This is Simon, and when I hoaxed my school by burying some treasure, Simon found it and the police were called.
OK, all right. Chris, how do you know Simon?
This is Simon. In a virtual world, we're married.
And finally, David Mitchell, your relationship with Simon.
This is Simon. He has a large tattoo of my face on his knee.
So there we have it. Is Simon Mackenzie's treasure hunter, Chris's cyber spouse, or David's tattooed fan? Lee's team, where would you like to start?
David.
Yes.
How do you know Simon?
I know him because when I was doing a book signing of a comedy book, he came and asked for the book to be signed and also asked me to sign my name underneath the tattoo of my face on his knee.
When you sign the face, is the face normal when the knee is stretched? Or is the face normal when it's not stretched?
Look, it's my face. It's not normal at all.
I need to ask you a question, but you've got to answer this honestly.
Yeah.
When
No,
you
I
don't.
don't. No.
That's the whole point of the game.
OK.
Otherwise we open with,
people
is it
from
true?
Would I Lie to You said, we're going to invite on that man who's got a tattoo of your face on his knee, did you say, oh, good, I'd like to see him again?
I am, of course, thrilled to remake the acquaintance of yeah.
Simon! It's Simon! Simon!
Simon.
So I did something, just to digress a little bit. I once got, this is true, backstage after a gig, a woman asked me to sign her bosom. And I went to sign with the pen that she gave me, and the pen didn't work. And without thinking, I went to the other breast and went... It's awful! Mackenzie, how old were you when you buried this treasure?
Maybe 13 or 14.
So what was the treasure?
Diamonds.
What? Whoa. How many
Got everyone's attention.
Fake diamonds. It was a hoax. So it was,
How many fake diamonds?
Probably 6.
Where did you get hold of 6 fake diamonds?
From my sister's jewellery box.
What? And then you rang up the police and hoaxed them into coming down to find some fake diamonds?
No, they were... I put them in a tin, and they were dredged in the school pond. So I knew if I placed it in the pond, it would be found.
And where did he fit into this?
Simon found the tin with the supposed diamonds and a letter that I'd faked.
What did it say on the letter?
It said something along the lines of, these are stolen, smuggled diamonds.
Whoa. So you're telling me that diamonds were found with a letter you go, these are smuggled diamonds?
Yeah.
And someone went, we better phone the police, this is genuine. Was there a punishment involved?
Nobody ever found out it was me. The police came back and said that they'd analysed the diamonds and they weren't diamonds, and it was obviously a hoax.
So they caught Ronnie Biggs, but they couldn't get you?
You happy to move on now?
Yeah. Chris, you're married in a virtual world. Tell us a little bit more about how you met Simon.
Second Life is a virtual world that exists on the internet, secondlife.com, and I'm one of the players. The various roles that you can play, you invent an avatar for yourself.
And you are?
My avatar is Audrey Hepburn.
It's what?
Audrey Hepburn.
So you're playing the woman in this relationship?
Yes.
Why have you got a second life as a woman?
Well, part of the whole thing is that you can be whatever you want to be, and as I say, a lot of people take it...
Don't start singing I Am What I Am.
I thought, well, I'll change my personality. I'll be Audrey Hepburn, as the Audrey Hepburn happens to be one of my real-life heroines.
Right. And
Couldn't do Hepburn because someone had already done it.
And what is Simon's avatar?
He is Simon Bernstein Jr.
Right, and where did you meet him in this virtual world?
Well, when you go on there, you can go to places and then you meet people. They contact you.
A bit like real life, but for sad people.
So his name's Simon and his pretend name is Simon?
Yes, but his real name's Simon Morgan. Presumably, rather like Audrey Hepburn, he couldn't be Simon Morgan because someone had already done that. There were about 20 million people
No, yeah, but you're not Audrey Hepburn.
No, Helpburn.
Yeah, no, but you wanted... But he is Simon Morgan, is what
It's like a psychiatrist coach. You are not Audrey Hepburn. I'm not going to tell you again. We went through this last week. You're not Audrey Hepburn. I still haven't established where you met Simon Bernstein Jr.
I met him at a cocktail party.
Yes?
I married him for his money. But I married...
I believe you, because when you said you married him for his money, do you see his face? He couldn't help it. When you said that...
No, that was the ink on his knees drying.
Right, what are you going to say, Lee? Who do you think it is?
This is a tricky one for me. Victoria, who is he connected with?
If this was a poker game and I had to make a call, I'd say Mackenzie's the one who's not bluffing.
You're going by body language.
Well, that's interesting. What is it about his body that tells you he's not bluffing it?
He has a sort of calm...
I know for a fact he's under heavy medication. I don't know if that's...
Looking at it from a different way, Simon is far too geeky for tattoos on his knees, but the Avatar thing, I think, sounds just a bit too plausible. I think it's Mackenzie.
Well, listen, Victoria's a top poker player. She knows body language better than anybody.
So you're saying that it's definitely Mackenzie Crook? You're saying that it's the buried treasure?
Yeah.
OK. Simon, would you like to reveal your true identity?
My name is Simon, and when we were at school together, I discovered Mackenzie's buried treasure.
Everything that Mackenzie said was absolutely true. Simon found the treasure Mackenzie buried at his school. And actually, we can show you the letter. Have a look at this. In this tin, I have placed stolen... You don't mind me doing it with an accent, do you? In this tin, I have placed stolen diamonds.
Oh, you're going to do it with an accent?
I would never claim to have your range as an actor, David. Shall I do posh and repressed, or repressed and posh? Well done. Now, thank you very much, Simon, for coming on. How about that? Which brings us on to our final round, quick-fire lies, in which our panellists lie not only through their teeth, but against the clock. First up, it's... that's Lee.
I once helped my mum and dad look for something they'd lost using a Ouija board.
Was it a relative they'd lost?
David's team, do you believe that?
What was it that they'd lost?
They'd lost an important document.
OK, I don't want you to be more specific. Oh, actually, yes, be more specific.
A very important document. It was a document that...
it was a document?
Yes.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Okay.
Did I mention how important it was?
You're going too quickly. It was a document. OK.
It was a document.
Did the document matter?
Oh, it was important, yes.
An important document. OK.
I can't stress upon you how important it was.
Yeah.
It was very important.
What was the important document?
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. I can't... I was only young, and I can't remember exactly...
They lost it.
It was something to do with a potential court case. I don't think it ever got to court, but they were worried that a thing...
Well, of course they didn't have the document.
They were worried that something might go to court, and they knew if they found this document, it would mean that they were proved to be in the right about the case. I genuinely can't remember anything more about it.
Can
we concentrate on the world of the dead?
Did they get through to your grandmother? She went, where did you last see it? Retrace your steps.
Where did you get the Ouija board from?
I think one of the regulars, because we grew up in a pub.
One of the regular what?
We grew up in a pub, and before the invention of the internet, between 3 and 5, the pub closed, and you had to think of something to do.
Obviously dabble in the occult.
Dabble in the occult. And believe it or not, my mum and dad and all the regulars would have a little lock-in, and me and my brother were invited to do the Ouija board.
If only you'd had Jenga or something more wholesome. No. And did you hold hands?
That's a seance, don't be an idiot.
Sorry, I get my bullshit mixed up.
Yeah.
How did you ask the question?
I remember it. My dad said, Spirit world, we have a very, 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 very... I can't stress on you enough how important a document is that we must find.
Yeah.
And they told us where it was.
What did they spell out?
They spelt out in the attic.
So were your parents massively into the occult?
No, I mean, it wasn't a problem. I mean, it wasn't like, you know, it was just a bit of fun in the afternoon, and Ouija boards was cheeky in the 70s before these horror films.
Right.
Up until then, it was a Waddington's family game.
David, time
It
to...
used to be advertised after Mousetrap.
MB Ouija board. Picture
You
all
don't
the
like
family
Mousetrap,
looking
try
freaked
Ouija
out.
board.
So, David, what's it going to be, truth or lie?
Well, I think...
True.
You think it's true?
I think it is.
I think it's true.
I was not thinking it's true, but my team think it's true.
You're
So
the captain,
I'll
David.
go with the team.
OK, you say true. Lee, what's the answer?
The answer is, it is in fact true.
Yes, it's true. Lee did once help his parents look for something they'd lost using a Ouija board. For those of you who don't know what a Ouija board is, it's like Scrabble for dead people. Next. It's Victoria.
If I ever get stuck on a crossword clue, I phone Tim Henman for help. He hasn't let me down yet.
Right.
I think that's a very cruel line. He hasn't let me down yet. We all know what that's an allusion to. His repeated letting down of the entire nation. I think it's, you know, tennis is difficult. And I'd just like to say I wouldn't necessarily have won Wimbledon. Obviously, if I'd practiced as much as Tim Henman, I'd bloody well expect to, but nevertheless. Right, so how do you know Tim Henman?
I met Tim Henman when he was promoting a sort of tennis academy thing, and I went and played tennis with him at Wimbledon.
Did you play at Wimbledon?
Yeah, I should say, I was right about it. It wasn't just like, oh, Victoria Goran's got to come in and play.
You used to ring up Tim Henman to ask him difficult crossword things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you get round that sensitive issue of going 6 down?
So Tim Henman is particularly good at crosswords.
He's got to be good at something.
Once again, I would say that Tim Henman is relatively good at tennis. So he could almost be a professional.
I'm curious, of all the people you meet in the course of your job, you choose a tennis player of sorts to advise you on crosswords.
He's very into crosswords.
So you're saying at this point in this clue I can't get, what we need is some of the skills that it takes to, you know, choke during a tie-break.
You're turning against him now, aren't
Make
you?
your mind up. Which side of the fence are you on?
Yeah. How did the subject of crosswords come up when you were playing
I was doing
this?
a crossword while waiting for him. He was doing
To serve, to get one in.
That's why you kept losing.
I was doing a crossword, and he came in, and it was kind of a bonding thing because he said, "I like crosswords. Let me have a look."
What do you think, Mackenzie? Do you think it's plausible?
I think it might be plausible, yeah. Yeah. Cryptic or just regular?
Well, he's not an idiot. You don't bring someone. Oh yeah, it's got 3 letters. Household pet starts with D.
Cat.
Mackenzie thinks it's plausible. Packham is saying...
I think it's sadly probably true.
Right, so you...
True.
Come on.
I don't have to think.
You're saying true? True. OK. So, Victoria...
You think I phoned Tim Henman to ask him the answer to crossword clues? Obviously, that's a lie.
It's a lie. Victoria doesn't phone Tim Henman for help whenever she gets stuck on a crossword clue. Next. It's Rhod.
Oh. I once paid for some tapas with a Nissan Micra.
David, tapas, Nissan Micra.
How much tapas were you buying?
1 meal's worth of tapas.
Worth of tapas. So what cash value of this tapas?
In the area of £15.
OK, why?
I didn't have any money.
But weren't you aware that a Nissan Micra, even in probably quite scruffy condition, would be worth a lot more than £15?
Yeah, but if you haven't got any money, all you've got is a Nissan Micra. What are you going to do?
I don't suppose I'd eat out in restaurants.
Well, drive home and have some toast.
I couldn't drive home. I sold my car for some tapas.
Oh, yeah, good point.
So did they accept the car in payment?
Yes.
How many of you were eating?
8.
8 of you sharing £15 worth of tapas.
I had £15 worth. We all had roughly, I suppose. Well, I don't know, I didn't check.
But you didn't offer... You didn't offer the Nissan Micra for everyone's meal. You said, well, I only had this, this and this. The Nissan Micra's only covering that. You can pay for your own. I mean, that might have been the time to be a little bit, you know, a little bit generous. I am giving a car away here.
Did none of the others think that they might chip in to save your car?
Somebody did bail me out, so I had to pay them with my car. That's all I had. They said, I'll pay you all.
So it was one of your friends that you gave the car to, not the proprietors of the restaurant, then?
Well, obviously not, yeah.
Right, so one of your friends said, I'll give you the 15 quid.
I'll pay your share.
But you can't, like, owe it to me. You can't give it to me next week. I want something in exchange for it now. Looked in your pocket, I've got a handkerchief, I've got my shirt. To be embarrassing to take my shirt off, but it'll have to be the car.
I think what happened was, she said, I'll pay your share. I said, I've got nothing to give you, I can give you my car. And I don't think it occurred to her to say, no, don't do that, give me 15 quid next week. I'll take the car, is what she said.
What was the value of the car?
2,500 I paid for it.
And how long before the dinner?
I lost £2,485 on the deal. It was good tapas, it was nice. We had... I had albondigas. I had croquetas. Croquettes.
Don't patronise me.
And croquetas, and I had gambas a la plancha, grilled prawns.
No.
And then I threw in the floor mats for some patatas bravas.
Right, David, what do you think? Is he telling the truth?
I think not.
I'm sure.
But it's so sort of odd and weird, and I think it's a lie.
It's a lie.
I think it's a lie.
We're all saying it's a lie. OK. Rhod Gilbert, truth or lie?
It is a... true.
So, just to be clear, everything you just said was true.
Every word of it.
You are a moron.
And that noise signals time is up, and it's the end of the show, and I can tell you, well, what a shocker. Lee's team have won by 6 points to 4.
How did you do that?
But, of course, it's not just a team game, and my individual liar of the week this week is Mackenzie Crook. Yes, Mackenzie Crook. I suppose the clue was in the name. Never trust anyone called Mackenzie. Good night. Well done. You, the show with a lust for lies. On Lee Mack's team tonight, a veteran comedian and writer who, after receiving his OBE, bantered with the Queen. One of the few occasions on which Victoria was amused. It's Barry Cryer. Thank you. And the star of BBC series Supersizers, who once had to eat the same sort of food that people lived on during World War II, when she went for lunch at Barry Cryer's house. It's Sue Perkins! And joining David Mitchell tonight, a comedian who left university with a degree in physics. I mean, God knows who it belonged to, but finders keepers, I say. Dara O'Brien! And a TV presenter who, for comic relief, took part in a gruelling trek across a bleak African desert. A journey she easily coped with, as she regularly gets the train from Dundee to London. It's Lorraine Kelly! And so we begin, as always, with round one. It's Home Truths, where our panellists each read out a statement from the card in front of them. Now, to make things harder, they've never seen the card before, so they've no idea what they'll be faced with. And it's up to the opposing team to sift the truth from the lies. Dara starts us off tonight. Dara, off you go.
OK. On doctor's advice, I have to sleep in a cycle helmet due to the violent nature of my dreams.
Well, Lee, where to begin?
Tell us about the violent nature of your dreams.
Yes. I move a lot within the dreams. They're active rather than like hack and slash movie type violent. They're more I'm playing a match or I'm running or something, and I move a lot in the bed.
Dara, what damage can you do to yourself with a pillow?
Well, it's only can get around, but I can snap. I can, you know, it can go back quite violent. Like I can recoil.
What does your wife think? Do you share a bed?
I do share a bed, yes.
When did the doctor prescribe the helmet?
It was during my teenage years. It was late teens, whatever, that stage that it began to...
That is the age when you start tossing and turning.
Yes.
No, I'm not having that. If I can't make an innocent comment, please, this isn't Never Mind Your Buzzcocks. I dreamt, this is true, I dreamt the other night that I was being spooned, I was the spoonee, with a lion. Seriously, and I could feel its big, hairy arms and its legs, well, they're all legs, aren't they? All legs around me, and I could feel it, and I could smell it, and it was so vivid, and I liked it. So the last thing I would have done is lash out because I was feared for my life.
Yeah, but I didn't have that dream.
You feared for your life and you liked it.
It was a lion!
I thought when you said you liked it, you must have in some way thought you were safe with this lion. But it was actually the fear that you liked.
We've all had experiences in bed, David, where we are simultaneously afraid and excited.
So, Dara, back to the image.
Yeah.
What do you wear in bed?
Other than that?
Yeah.
Pyjamas and a T-shirt.
It's a lovely look.
The pyjama with the jacket. I don't wear the jacket, though.
No.
Unnecessarily
as if you wear a
formal.
blazer in bed, it would clash with your cycle helmet.
It is odd, isn't it, the way pyjamas have a collar that could take a tie.
Yeah, back to the cycle helmet.
It's Petr Cech, the goalkeeper for Chelsea, right?
You better explain to David who he is.
There's a footballer called Petr Cech who got kicked in the head once, right? Okay,
the goalkeeper's the one that owns the club, right?
Gets him, Anyway, got kicked in the head, and he wears a kind of a padded head. It's very similar to that, like, because, you know, and if you've had a previous head injury, and I had a, you know, if you've had a knock in the past...
What was your previous head injury?
I literally fell off a bike when I was a teenager. I went off a bike and...
How ironic they make you wear a cycle helmet to remind you of that terrible, terrible day.
When did you start wearing the cycle helmet in bed?
That was when I was 16.
So you've been wearing it in bed since you were 16?
Yeah.
How old are you now?
39.
So obviously on your honeymoon night you wore it, did you?
She was used to that. She'd seen it, yeah.
So every night?
I've heard of safe sex.
During sex? During sex are you wearing it? Because then you're really thrashing around, aren't you?
Do you presume that there's no gap between the end of sex and sleep that I couldn't then go, oh, that was magic?
You know what? That, to me, is more disturbing. To be able to go, that was marvellous, Dick. What the hell are you putting on your head?
Right, Lee, it's time to take a guess.
Well,
what do you think?
If he's not telling the truth, he's made life very hard for himself because he didn't have to say he was doing it for 23 years.
How long have you known him for?
I never slept with him.
No.
It's lie.
So it's a lie. So, Dara, are you telling the truth or was it a lie?
That scar that goes from there to there? Huh? Yeah? Nah, it's a lie.
It's a lie. Dara wasn't advised to sleep in a cycle helmet because of the violent nature of his dreams. Lorraine, you're up next.
I once presented an episode of TV AM whilst drunk.
I don't think we need to discuss this anymore.
No. OK. What time do you start work on TV AM?
In those days, I would be getting up about 3 o'clock.
So you're waking up at 3, so...
Are you still hammered from the night before, or are you topping up at 3?
If you're waking up sober, this is a tragic story.
This is a great story.
No, it was only the once.
What happened the night before, or the...
No, I went for lunch.
A long lunch?
About 12... Well, aye.
Well, aye.
What time does the lunch start?
About 12:30.
OK. What time did you finish drinking?
About 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock in the morning? So you've drunk all the way through till 3 o'clock in the morning?
That's a big lunch.
But hang on, that's your wake-up time, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you've not slept? It was an all-nighter?
Yeah.
So you at 3 o'clock, you're drinking from 12 till 3 in the morning, and you go to work now, lads. See you later, I'm on telly.
Lorraine Kelly.
Yes.
Who were you with?
Who was I with? I was celebrating with John Hannah, the actor.
John Hannah, the actor.
Because John...
stop the clocks.
Exactly. And we kind of did. And all of his friends. And he was celebrating the fact that he'd got the part in 4 Weddings.
Was he really? Isn't that... Well, if this... I hope this is true now, because that's a lovely story.
I know.
And you went drinking...
It's a sort of lovely story that she turned up drunk on air after a 19-hour drinking session. It's quite heartwarming.
But I could have phoned in not well. I could have phoned in and said...
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we appreciate you're a professional.
Thank you.
What might we have noticed about Lorraine Kelly that morning?
Oh, no. Absolutely.
Did you have your top on?
I did. Nobody would ever have known. Nobody did know.
But when you say drunk, it sounds like... I mean, drunk's a big word.
Yeah.
You know that way you can drink yourself sober?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. You're that kind of woman. But you can drink yourself sober. You can actually...
I don't think you can,
You
by the way.
can!
I don't think you can, kids.
No, she's right.
What are they saying? Do you know what Lorraine Kelly's just said on television? You can't drink yourself slow.
Yes, you can. You're right, Lorraine.
Thank you, Barry. You can.
Yeah, you're right.
So, Lee's team, what do you think?
What do we think, Barry? Is this true or a lie?
I'm an old-fashioned gent. I'm sorry to say, I think it's true. Sorry, Lorraine.
Do you think it's true?
I think so, yeah.
OK, we'll say it's true.
You're saying it's true. Lorraine?
Shaking her head.
As if I would do such a thing as that. It's true.
Yes, it's true. Lorraine did once present an episode of TVAM drunk. Yes, it's astonishing, isn't it? Only once. I mean, that's nothing. I once got so drunk I watched an episode of TVAM. Barry?
I have written and had published a trilogy of romantic novels under a female pen name.
Ooh.
OK, what's the female pen name, Barry?
Mary Windsor.
Mary Windsor.
Mary Windsor?
Yeah.
And what stage in your career was this?
Early. I'd written, done one book of anecdotes, and the publisher said they fancied doing a sort of Barbara Cartland, you know, a sort of one of those.
Oh, were the anecdotes particularly romantic in your book?
No, not originally. I don't know why they chose me, but I went for it, and I got away with 3 of them, which didn't sell. Obviously, nobody's heard of them. But
were they linked, by the way? Was it a trilogy, or were they, you know, was it the same story?
No, there were 3 separate stories.
Great. So that's all 3 plots, please, off the cuff.
Yes.
Let's go for book number 1.
Yes, book number 1 was a shameless rip-off of Lady Chatterley's Lover. It was about a guy who worked on the estate and the lady of the manor. It was just blatant.
And what was it called, Barry? What was the title of that one?
My Land. It was a quotation from the lady of the manor who said it at a crucial point in the plot.
Oh, how crucial.
On their first falling out. They become lovers, and then it became very tense and something, and then she became very autocratic with him. And it was a very moving moment, if I say so myself.
And book 2?
Book 2 was set in Spain, and a bullfighter was involved.
All right.
Well, same plot, I'm not kidding you.
Was book 2 called My Bull?
I'm ashamed to say it was called Hasta la Vista.
OK.
I wish you wouldn't go on about this. I'm not proud of them.
I think I want to read them.
Yep.
And book 3?
1 year, it was called.
1 year?
1 year.
You didn't go overboard in the titles.
No, simple, self-explanatory titles.
What was the plot of book 3?
The plot of book 3 was on board a liner.
Right. On board a liner.
My liner.
This posh, frustrated woman went on a liner and met the steward.
Why did they stop this? This is gold!
Which one, now that you look back, Barry, with the wisdom that you've accrued over the years...
Yes.
Which one are you proudest of?
The third one, because I was starting to get the hang of it.
But the publishers disagreed. They thought you were losing what hang of it you'd ever had.
Yes, yes.
What are you thinking, David Steve?
What do you think, Lorraine?
Oh, no. You know, I just don't see Barry having the time to do it. And
I could write those drunk in the morning.
No, we think it's a lie.
I think it's probably a lie.
Sure?
Yeah.
Think it's a lie? Mm-hmm. Barry Cryer, truth or lie?
Dramatic pause. Music is heard in the background. It was a lie.
It's a lie. Barry hasn't written a trilogy of romantic novels under a female pen name. I love romantic fiction. And the new Jilly Cooper book features a highly sexed woman who makes love in the strangest of places. It's on the shelves Monday, hanging from a chandelier Tuesday, and top of the wardrobe Wednesday. Our next round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panellists. So please welcome this week's special guest, Rhod. So, Barry, first of all, what is Rhod to you?
This is Rhod. He drives my favourite bus, and whenever I see it, I shout, "Hello, darling!"
Sue, how do you know Rhod?
This is lovely Rhod, who's my local butcher, and when I won Maestro, he had a whole pig in the window, and he stuck my face on its face, and he put a little conducting baton in its trotters to celebrate.
And finally, Lee, your relationship with Rhod?
This is Rhod, and after we accidentally took each other's baggage from the carousel, I ended up having to wear his clothes for 3 days on holiday.
So there we have it. Barry's bus driver, Sue's creative butcher, or Lee's unlucky holiday goer. David, off we go.
So your local butcher...
Yes.
You got to know him quite well before you were sort of represented in pig form.
For about 7 years, off and on.
And is this like a posh butcher's, basically?
Well, no. What do you mean by posh
Well,
butcher?
I basically think going to a butcher's is quite posh. Yeah. On the basis that most people buy meat at supermarkets, don't they?
Well, no, the butcher's en route to the tube, so I've always gone...
If you need some meat to gnaw on the tube.
That's
where you're...
Basically, it's on that route, so I always say hello, and there's 3 of them that work there, of which Rhod's one. And also, I've got dogs, so they always give me bones for the dogs.
So this is sort of a 1950s idyll.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly, sir.
Sue, this was done, so you say, in honour of the programme Maestro. Yeah. Now, just tell us what that was.
This is a programme where you learn how to be an orchestral conductor.
And so where did they hit the leap going, an orchestral conductor? A pig.
Well, to be fair, when you say why on a pig, I mean, he's a butcher, he's not...
Yeah,
he's not,
exactly.
He can't
That's
say,
his
should we put it
medium.
on the face of the pig or the dead body of Andre Previn?
How was your face done? Was it like a colour printout?
Yeah, like something they've got off the internet, so it's quite pixelated.
Not pixelated. I think you mean low resolution.
That's what I mean. Not like
Otherwise, it would be
face.
people would sort of go, oh, that's clearly the pixelated face of Sue Perkins on the page. Moving on to what number bus is it, Barry?
H14, Hatch End to Norfolk Park Hospital.
Right.
And in reverse. No, he doesn't drive in reverse. And I don't shout, "Hello, darling," at Rhod, nothing personal. Rod. I shout it at the bus. Because it's my friend.
You shout it when the H14 drives past. So when you're planning to get on it...
Yes.
Then at what point do you shout, hello, darling?
I'm a creature of whim. Right. It might be early, it might be late, it might be when I'm getting on. I want to vary it.
Do you add, I'm coming in, darling?
No, there's no foreplay.
Right, well...
David, what about Lee's claim?
So where were you going on holiday?
Thailand.
Right.
Me and Rod, we got our bags mixed up on the carousel, and so as a result of that, I had to wear his clothes for 3 days.
Where did you fly to? Bangkok?
Flew to Bangkok, yeah.
Right. You didn't have proper labels on your case?
Absolutely correct.
Well, that was very remiss.
Well, it was a remiss.
Ooh.
It was Lorraine, it was remiss, or I'm lying.
Aye.
Wasn't it? In which case, it wasn't remiss.
OK.
Just to clarify, Lee, are you still saying this is true, or has the very suggestion that you might be remiss made you abandon any attempt at playing this game?
Will not be.
I'm not going to be called remiss. OK, it's nonsense. It's nonsense. I'm not a fool. I actually label my luggage very carefully. I think that's very important, but I'm not for a moment going to pretend otherwise.
What sort of case? What kind of case was it?
It was actually leopard skin. Oh, not leopard skin, as in that was it was plastic, case. But he had the
really?
No, blokes don't have leopard
You're right.
skin.
No, it's my wife. My wife's
But Rod's a proper bloke. I mean, I could
so
believe...
am I, Lorraine.
No, I
Thank
could
you very
believe...
much.
No, I know, but you're kind of showbiz, and I could believe you had a leopard
kind of showbiz.
skin.
How about I am showbiz?
I don't think Rod would
Remiss,
have...
kind of showbiz. I'm really coming for you,
Not a proper man.
What bombs? Hang on. So there are two men of exact same build, both travelling to Bangkok on the same flight with leopard skin suitcases. People swap bags all the time, right? But they bring them back to the airport, or they get somebody at the hotel to bring them back to the airport, and they buy replacement clothes. They don't go, I will now assume the identity.
To be honest, though, it's the rules of the game. I wasn't in Bangkok. I had to fly again from Bangkok to a place called Krabi, and then we got on a boat to an island resort.
Yeah.
So it was a long way back to Bangkok.
So you didn't open your case until you got to your final destination?
Yes.
What were Rod's clothes like? Were you happy to wear them, and did they fit you, and were they OK?
I think you can look at Rod. You can see he's a stylish man. His wigs weren't great, but let's say some of the things I wouldn't have worn. For example, his bus conductor's outfit. Wouldn't have worn that. As for his butcher's outfit, well...
What are you thinking, David? I mean, it's a tricky one, I think, this week.
I think it's Sue.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's probably Sue.
Do you? I think it's Lee.
You think it's Lee?
It's Lee?
Lorraine, can I just say, even I don't think
No, it's 2 against 1. You should go first.
We're going to go for...
Yeah,
OK, we'll think
We're
it's
go for
Sue. Yeah.
Right, Rod, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Rod, and I'm Barry's H14 driver.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rod. Time now for some high-speed lying in our final round, quick-fire lies. Our panellists don't know whether they're about to read out a true fact about themselves or a made-up lie they've never seen before. David is currently behind, so really has to work hard to grab some extra points if they want to win. We will start with... David.
Possession.
Right, well, you know the form. There's a box on the desk.
Could be.
Take out the object first and show us that, and then read out the card, please.
Stop! It's true! It's true! Move on! You don't even need to hear it.
This is my bare tablecloth. Customs officers once cut his head off and searched him for smuggled goods.
Can we see? Is there proof? Let me see.
As you can see.
Is there any way of telling?
There's some stitching there.
Oh, just tilt his chin up then so we can see the stitching.
Yeah, let's have a
Not
look.
too much, I'm going to upset him. All right.
Can we have a look at the burr?
Yes, of
We'll
course
see
you
the
can have the bear.
stitches.
Yeah.
Throw him over it violently.
No, don't
I
throw
couldn't
him.
possibly.
Come on, he's been decapitated. He's seen worse.
You can't throw the bear. That'd be a shame.
Thank you, Lorraine.
Sorry, I meant you to pass it to Rob. I've now, like, made you do the whole journey. Like, take the bear over there, please, Lorraine. It's in my contract. I never leave the desk.
David, just look at me. Right.
I didn't...
How's this making you feel?
That's terrible.
Oh, no.
That's really terrible.
Isn't it awful?
So he feels.
Really is.
He's had his head cut off and his sting ripped off, but that's not possibly upsetting.
Dave, why did you call this bear tablecloth?
Yes.
Because when I was very little, he had a little jacket made out of a tablecloth.
If this turns out to be a lie, you are a shameless little light entertainer.
Coming from you, Lee, that is a compliment.
Where was the customs? Where were we going from or to? Or?
We were going back from Minorca.
What did they say they were looking for?
I imagine it was a sort of a spot check.
Did you see them carving the head off? Was it happening in front of you on the table, on the...
No, I'm glad to say I was shielded from that moment.
David, I'm going off this story.
You heartless bastard. Sorry, tablecloth. What? Do it to him. Smash his face
Give
on
me the bear.
Oh,
I'm taking the bear into care.
You're about to do an appeal.
Was there any reason why they didn't check the arms and legs?
Yeah. I don't know. I should have asked them to. I should have said, call that thorough.
What's that?
I have done this before.
Yeah. What's that you say? You say it's time for Lee's team to take a guess? All right. What do you think?
Maybe he's in denial, and the truth is he, as an adult, was searched for drugs, and he's so traumatised by what they did to him.
Yeah.
He's had to create a teddy bear and put it all onto him.
Yeah. Show us on the teddy bear what they did to the customer.
Show us on the teddy bear where they've shoved their fist.
That's why the bear's hands are like that.
OK, we can say lie, are we, Sue?
I think so.
Lie.
I think so.
I don't think I can argue
Lie.
with that. So lie.
OK, David.
Well, it is a lie.
Yes, it's a lie. David's teddy bear didn't have his head cut off by customs officers as they searched for smuggled goods. Now, when I was a rebellious young man, I once stuck 2 fingers up to a customs officer who pulled me aside, put on a rubber glove and returned the favour. Next. Oh, it's Lee. Lee's go.
Possession.
All right, box under the desk, Lee. I'd like you to read the card first and then show us what's in there, Lee.
I spent an entire year in a plastic work class at school, and this is the only thing I managed to make.
Plastic work? What is it? What is it?
I don't know. Can we have a look? Can you bring
See,
it up?
what is that, though?
Thank you. It's shit.
You bastard. And I treated your teddy bear with such respect.
What is it, though?
Ironically, it's a luggage tag.
Is it a luggage tag?
It's a keyring.
It's a keyring,
Oh, is it a keyring? What is it?
Are you a big sports fan, eh?
I do follow football.
Yeah, which team do you follow?
I follow Blackburn Rovers.
Blackburn Rovers. Blackburn doesn't begin with an L, does it? No, what was the LFC?
It was Liberace for Chancellor. It stands for Liverpool Football Club.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Why did you make a Liverpool Football Club keyring
because it was
in plastic work?
Because they didn't have blue and white plastic. Blackburn Rovers. They only had red plastic. So I thought, well, I'll give it the Liverpool Football Club because it's red.
Right.
When did you do it? What age were you when you did that? Was it at school then?
No, it was in Broadmoor.
You say it took you a year?
No, a year.
I mean, I've never heard of
Plastic work.
I know, well, the thing is, in 1982, plastic was the future.
Well, no, I don't in any way disparage plastic. That's fine. I like plastic. Plastic's very useful. But a class at school
called plastic
doing
work.
for plastic work.
How did you cut it? What did you
not
use?
like that.
I don't think you're in any position to get all haughty about your plastic cutting technique if this is the only evidence we have.
I must say, I don't believe this, but I'd love to know what this object is, who made it and why. But I think we think it's a lie.
Oh, a lie.
I totally
think it's a lie.
Totally.
OK, they say it's a lie. Lee, is it a truth or is it a lie?
It is, in fact, true.
plastic work. That was a lesson that never caught on. Plastic work.
Plastic work.
Does anyone else do plastic work?
Did you get marked on that? Was that
Yes, I
submitted
did
for
get marked.
What was
examination?
your grade?
I got a 2-1 and we went straight to Oxford. What do you think?
Yes, it's true. And I don't know exactly what LFC stands for, but I'm guessing the first word is lazy. And that noise signals time is up, and it's the end of the show, and I can reveal that David's team have a pathetic 3 points, and Lee's team has trounced home with 8. But, of course, it's not just a team game, and my individual liar of the week this week is Barry Cryer. Yes, Barry Cryer, who hasn't lied so much since he typed the words new material at the top of a page of jokes. Good night. Welcome to a very special edition of previously unseen clips from this series of Would I Lie to You? On David Mitchell's team tonight, Mackenzie Crook, Frank Skinner, Catherine Parkinson, Dara O'Brien, Lorraine Kelly, Bill Oddie, David O'Doherty, Rebecca Front and Jack Whitehall. And on Lee Mack's team tonight, Miranda Hart, Rhod Gilbert, Nick Hewer, Sarah Milliken, Louis Spence, Bill Turnbull, Victoria Corrin, Barry Cryer and Sue Perkins. And so to Home Truths, where our panellists each read out a statement from the card in front of them to make things harder. They've never seen the card before and they've got no idea what they'll be faced with. It's up to the opposing team to sort the fact from the fiction. And Mackenzie, you're up first.
When I won the Pirates of the Caribbean Sandcastle competition, Keith Richards was so angry he stamped on my drawbridge and threw Johnny Depp's bucket in the sea.
This is delicious. Lee, what do you think?
The competition was what, at the end of the filming of the whole thing, or...?
It wasn't at the end, it was during one of the films. I think it was the second one we were...
Right.
Yeah.
Why was Keith Richards there?
Keith Richards played...
Why was Keith Richards there?
Oh, was he in it?
Did you go to the cinema?
I don't really watch TV or go to cinemas. I'm struggling to recognise anyone round here, to be honest.
Well, imagine how we feel. I thought the Chuckle Brothers had split up. Do you have any connection with popular culture?
None whatsoever. Big fan of yours, though.
Oh, don't applaud it.
So your sandcastle, why was your sandcastle so good?
I'm just particularly good at making sand castles, sand sculptures. It's one of my... Some people say it's a superpower. But
Well, it isn't really, is it?
No, it's not really.
A burning building! There's a child trap! Don't worry, I'll make a dolphin.
Keith Richards. Richards made a sandcastle?
I think he'd attempted one. He wasn't in the best of health.
If Keith Richards hadn't had a proper go at the sandcastle because he didn't really care, why was he so angry that you'd won?
I think because I'd trumped Johnny Depp, and they're very good friends, and...
No, he threw Johnny Depp's bucket in the sea.
He was just furious.
He didn't know whose bucket it was. He went so mental, he threw somebody's bucket without knowing whose it was.
Can you describe Keith Richards' sandcastle?
It was basically a mound.
Did he try to snort it?
And what beach was this?
This was on a beach in St Vincent in the Grenadines.
Was it a completely empty beach? There was nobody playing on it?
We were on...
Sandcastle Beach?
We were on, like...
Sorry, can I just interrupt? If there's a beach with Johnny Depp and Keith Richards making sandcastles, it's not an empty beach anymore. That's going to attract tourism.
I doubt they were having to film amongst holidaymakers. I've not seen in Pirates of the Caribbean families, you know, carrying kids into the sea. You are in Captain Jack Sparrow. Sorry, mind you go there, kiddie. Put Factor 24 on there.
How far out was the sea from where you were making the sandcastles?
Gosh, 50 yards.
And how...
and Richards made it all the way down to the sea with Depp's bucket?
I reckon he ran 10 of those yards and lobbed it the rest.
He lobbed a plastic bucket 40 yards?
I think you've heard enough. What do you reckon? Is he telling the truth?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Do you think he did it? You think it's a lie?
No.
I think he did it.
So you think he did? Do you think the story is true in
I think the story is true in its basic form.
Right. Well, that's pretty much what we need.
That's the game, yeah.
So come on then, Lee. Truth or lie?
Right. I'm going to go with Rhod and say it's true.
You say it's true.
Yes.
OK. Mackenzie Crook, star of Pirates of the Caribbean. Is it the truth or is it a lie?
It is a lie.
Yes, it's a big, big lie. Mackenzie didn't upset Keith Richards by winning the Pirates of the Caribbean Sandcastle competition. The cast actually used to pass time on the set by drinking lots of beer and then urinating their name into the sand. A competition that was amazingly won by Keira Knightley. Miranda, you're next. Off you go.
Last year, whilst house-sitting for friends, I had to shout for help for 2 hours when I got stuck in their children's Wendy house.
David, what do you think of that?
Right, so where was the Wendy house?
In their garden.
Was there bait in the Wendy house?
There was cake and I had to have it. I actually thought this looks fun, I'm going to go and have a little look.
You were supposed to be looking after the children?
No, I was house-sitting.
Oh, you're house-sitting,
yes.
right.
The Wendy house specifically, or the actual house?
The actual house.
Oh, the actual house. What was it made of?
Wooden structure.
It was a shed. A wooden structure in a garden is called a shed, not a Wendy house.
It was smaller than a shed. It was a little house made of wood.
So it looks very inviting. You open a little door, crawl in, then what happens?
Then I shut the door and think, oh, this will be fun.
Right.
I know I'm going across a bit weird now. I go to the little door and there's one of those latchy things which doesn't work. And then, so I think, well, I'll just push it. And you see, it got stuck to the concrete on the bottom.
Right.
And I could not push it.
Well, that's quite sad.
So it was...
It was a very...
You're like a very posh Chilean miner.
So you shouted for 2 hours?
Yeah.
What did you shout?
Help me!
I think she shouted. Recipes?
Who saved you in the end?
The neighbours.
And how did they manage to open the door?
They got a little saw and sawed around the latchy bit.
How? It's an episode of Tom and Jerry.
How do you do that? How do you get a saw in there?
It was one of those ones.
Jigsaw.
Yeah,
that's a
jigsaw. So it has a thing that initially penetrates and then cuts laterally.
There is...
Jigsaw. Have you ever thought of advertising for B&Q? You'd be the perfect voice. Are you looking for something that does that, then penetrates laterally? B&Q.
Which way are you leaning on this?
So are we leaning towards a lie?
Yeah, but I slightly wanted it to be true because I think it's a funny image of Miranda being stuck screaming in a Wendy house.
I'm not buying it, I'm afraid.
Let's say it's a lie.
You're saying it's a lie. OK, Miranda, truth or lie?
It is a lie.
Very well, though. I thought that was impossible. Bill, you're up next.
I have drunk rum from a human skull.
David's team, what do you think?
That must have been a dark moment.
I was in Haiti. Right. And I was working and the opportunity presented itself.
I don't think we need to ask any more then. How did the opportunity present itself?
I was attending a voodoo ceremony in the middle of the night.
Right.
Best time for a voodoo ceremony. Those 10 o'clock brunch ones are rubbish.
Were you covering the...
Was this work-related?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, work-related, yes, it was, yes.
Where was it held?
In Haiti.
Where specifically?
Where they practice voodoo.
Yeah, in a conference centre?
It was out in the countryside.
Right.
In a little shed thing.
Right.
And they passed around this skull.
Yeah.
It wasn't the whole skull that was full. It was the top had come off. They poured rum in it, and then they all took a drink from it, and they asked me to drink from it as well.
Oh. How did you know that this sort of grey...
Well, how did I know it was a skull?
Yeah.
Someone told me afterwards. I thought it was a coconut at the time.
Right.
Did it have hair on the... Did it have hair coming out of it?
What? Like a coconut. Like a coconut. He said he thought it was a coconut. There are two hard, round things that have hair on them. Human heads and coconuts.
Yes, the hair.
That's the point.
Not the skull. The skull doesn't have bloody hair on it.
Cranium. I think it's possible I've seen hair on a pork scratching. It gets passed round, you take a sip from the weird grey saucer, it gets passed on, the voodoo ceremony ends, you head back. Who tapped you on the shoulder and went, I'll tell you what, you just drank out, mate?
Was it the bloke with his brain showing?
I was there, actually, to do an interview with a zombie.
Right.
You met the zombie?
Yes.
When you say zombie, what do you mean?
Well, he's a zombie.
Well, a zombie is somebody in the hinterland between life and death, you idiot. Evidently wasn't that.
Can I just say your hosting position is getting a bit aggressive?
What do you mean by a zombie, Bill?
They said he was a zombie.
Oh, right.
They brought him in and they said, now you can do an interview with him.
But that's not right.
Did you mic the zombie?
So what are you thinking, David? Is Bill telling the truth or is he lying to us? What do you think?
Catherine, what do you think?
I think it's so mental and ludicrous. I don't think it's true.
Insane. I'm going to say that is not true.
In which case, we're going to say we think it's a lie.
You think it's a lie? OK, Bill Turnbull. Truth or lie?
What do you say? Insane, ludicrous, and true.
Rebecca.
Right. OK. I have vomited in Cliff Richard's hedge.
Now, can I just be very clear about this? I don't know about you, but I'm terrible with euphemisms. Was it his front hedge or his back hedge?
Lee, please, Lee.
It was the hedge
inside a Wendy house.
The pavement. The front
Where is
boundary.
this house?
I think it was Surrey.
You think? How drunk were you?
No, I was very, very young at the time. This kind of explains the vomiting.
How old are you?
Young. I think I was about 5 or 6.
How did you know it was Cliff Richard's house?
Yeah.
Because I
He came out and said congratulations.
I had been taken to see this house because it was Cliff Richard's house.
Oh, you were taken as like a day out?
Yeah, because I was a big fan at the time.
Was it a revulsion or something you had eaten?
Car sickness.
Car sickness?
Yeah.
What was the plan when you were getting there?
It was a drive-by,
Just
almost.
him?
A drive-by puking.
Drive-by vomit.
Presumably there was a lot of other vomit in the hedge. It was sort of matted with the vomit of admirers.
Probably. Was Cliff in the house going, oh, 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 oh. What's... I'm doing Cliff Richard.
Very important.
You never want to say the phrase, I'm doing Cliff Richard. Never say that one. Especially if you're doing that with your hands. I'm doing Cliff Richard. I'm doing Cliff Richard.
Such fun.
Did you just say such fun?
Yes, I did. So, what do we think, Lee?
OK, well, shall we say true, Nick?
I think so. It's a dismal little story.
You know what? Can I just say, you really should have your own chat show. You'd be
So, Lee, you are saying that it's true, yeah?
We'll say it's true.
You're going to say it's true. OK, Rebecca Front, is it true or is it a lie?
It is true.
Well done, Steve. Yes, Rebecca did once vomit in Cliff Richard's hedge. Cliff, on the other hand, has never been made to feel nauseous by a bush of any kind. And we'd like to thank our lawyers for the wording on that one. Sarah Milliken, you're next.
I once ruined a christening party when I was overheard calling the baby ugly on a baby monitor.
David.
So the baby monitor, presumably, is by the baby.
Yes.
So most of the party is in, let's call it room A.
OK.
And the baby...
How big is your house?
Is...
Room Z.
We'd never speak of room Z. And the baby is in room B, very appropriately in room B.
B for baby, yes.
So you're looking over the baby on your own?
No, a few of us had gone into, you know, you're supposed to sort of
you're
go in
supposed to
and,
give a shit,
and have it, yeah. You know, everybody was looking at it and saying how lovely it was, and it just, you know, looked like a Winston Churchill, like they all do when they're born, you know, just little and sort of fat. So I just, you know,
What did you say?
I just said, wasn't very pretty.
What sort of monitor was it, Sarah? Was it an audio monitor? Because we recently invested in a video and audio monitor, and if there are any young parents like myself out there, then then I would recommend getting the video because you can see them as well.
No, nobody's got.
Isn't that a lovely image? Rob's wife putting him in the cot like that.
It's just, it gives her peace of mind. She knows I'm safe.
I went on holiday with a couple, and they had a walkie-talkie on the dinner table in the evening, and they said, I said, what is that? They said, we use this as a baby monitor because they've got a much better range
But don't the
than a
babies
baby
have to?
monitor.
Wouldn't the baby have to press it down to talk into it?
Yeah, it sort of went over.
David, what's it going to be, truth or lie?
I would say that saying that basically what you were saying is, oh, babies all look the same to me, they look sort of baby-like, I don't find them that pretty.
Yes.
That's not that rude a thing to say. Saying specifically that baby is hideous, what with its third eye and everything, that's different.
That wouldn't have been shocking because everybody else would have noticed the third eye as well.
Yeah, but they might have
presumably.
tried to be nice about it and say, oh, what a lovely extra feature. Frank?
Well, I sort of believe it.
Yeah, no, it's easily done.
I think we think it's true, then.
You think it's true?
Yeah.
Sarah, were you telling the truth?
It is a lie.
Nick, you're next.
Possession.
Ah, right. There's a box. If you just pick that up, bring it up to the desk there. And would you read, there's a card in there. I'd like you to read the card first and then reach back in and take out the possession.
Right, OK. This is a hat from my hat collection. I wear one whenever I throw a dinner party.
OK, now take out the possession, the hat.
Please be a fez.
Oh, let's see.
There we are. How's that?
Wow.
You should wear that in the boardroom. That would be terrifying.
Right, just pop it down there. So, David's team, what do you think?
What sort of hat is that, Nick?
That hat is the hat of a Kazakhstan border guard.
Can we have a look at it?
Yes.
Lee,
What?
it's his hat. It's a hat.
Oh, yes, it's his hat, isn't it?
Thank you.
I would love to see you wearing that hat, David.
Well, I'd be very proud to wear it. It's a bit small for me.
Very fetching, though. Would you like to tell us how you came by this?
Yes.
Then
I
please
happened
do.
to be dawdling my way through Kazakhstan. And on the way out of Kazakhstan, I thought it would be sad to leave that great country without a souvenir.
Did this belong to a border guard? Did you...
I'm going to let that one pass.
Is that what you said as you walked through?
Are you implying that you stole it?
I'm not really. I'm pleading the fifth on that one.
Now, can you tell me something about your hat parties?
Yes.
What happens at these hat parties?
Wherever I go, I try and pick up a national hat. So I have one from Kyrgyzstan, from Mongolia, from Kazakhstan, from Russia.
So you have a whole assortment of ridiculous military hats.
I keep them on a beam on my house, and we have all the different hats up there. And when dinner parties get rowdy, we put our hats on.
Wow.
I want to go to that party.
Yeah. Is everyone allowed to wear these hats, or is it just you and
No. Everybody's got to pick their hats, and then sometimes during dinner we change them around.
Wild.
How do you swap the hats around? Like keys in a bowl, sort of thing?
No. You just... Oh, may I have a go with yours?
I think it's very much like the keys in the bowl.
David, I'd like you to take a guess now, please.
I think this is true.
You think it's true? OK. Nick, is it true or is it a lie? True. And here's a picture of Nick in another of his favourite hats. Isn't that nice? Yes, it's true. That is a hat from Nick's hat collection that he wears at dinner parties. At one of Nick's dinner parties ended up in a food fight. Margaret Mountford got a face full of sugar, and when Lady Sugar found out, she started a food fight. Catherine, you're up next.
Me and my husband have a fake laugh that we do at parties to signal when it's time to leave.
Oh, fantastic.
Lee, fake laughs, what do you know about those?
Well, I know she's been doing it quite a lot tonight. I have to go. That's nice. Do that again.
Is that it? What about just saying, "Can we leave now, darling"? That was, "Can we leave now, darling"?
So just put us through this scenario then. You're both having the same conversation at the party with somebody else.
And when one of us wants to go home, we will just laugh in a certain way.
And does your husband do the same laugh as you, or has he got his own version?
No, he's got his own version.
His voice is
deeper than mine.
Same thing, but deeper?
Yes.
Like, for instance?
Do his laugh.
Sort of... It's sort of...
Give me your laugh again, because I didn't quite hear it.
OK.
This is Catherine's laugh.
Yeah.
And now the husband's laugh?
Well, I'm not so good at doing that, which, you know...
Do the husband's laugh.
I feel like you're mocking me.
No, I'm threatening you. And your laugh again? And then his laugh? OK.
What was your laugh like again? And his laugh? When's the last time you did it?
Yes.
I think we did it about 2 weeks ago at...
Who are you talking to?
This...
I'd rather not say on television.
Is it a television person? Is it someone famous?
No,
Well,
but...
still, but it's just... No, it's not someone famous, it's someone who loves being insulted on television.
So, Lee, let's go for a guess.
Should we say it's true? Is that what we're saying?
I think that, but I'm going with you.
You're trusting me, aren't you?
I'll trust you.
Trust.
I don't know why, but I will.
Go on, true?
You're saying true. OK. Catherine, truth or lie?
It is, in fact, a lie.
Oh! Yes, it's a lie. Catherine and her husband don't have a fake laugh that they do at parties to signal when it's time to leave. When they're bored stiff at a party, they say, "Thanks for having us, Rob, but we'd better make a move." Bill?
It's a possession.
There's a little box under your desk. If you'd bring that up, please. Take the possession out for us, and then read the card for us, please.
This is my conversation book. In it... I've written a list of topics that I refer to should I ever run out of things to talk about.
How do you, without seeming weird, consult the book in the middle of this foundering conversation? Like that?
Like that? You've hardly noticed. Have you thought about draft-proofing your house recently?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
Is that one of your subjects? To sort of enliven the conversation?
Is that genuinely in the book?
No, to be honest...
Let me see.
To be honest,
give me the book.
well, this bit could be good.
Roll me the book.
This is a very special book to me.
We promise we'll take good care of the book. Right, let's have a look. OK. Home insulation tips is indeed the first thing. Interest rates. Very low, of
They
course.
may be going up.
Yeah, they may be going up, but not on this programme. Are the Cotswolds overrated? Are the Cotswolds overrated?
See? It's interesting, isn't it?
Rugby. 3 question marks after rugby.
Do you not know much about rugby? Is that why you were a bit worried about it?
I'm just not sure. Sometimes it doesn't really work as a topic. And I'm not sure how
Not with
well
women.
it would go with you, Catherine.
Quite a few of those won't go very well with me, if I'm honest with you.
Seriously, when was the last time you thought about draft-proofing your...
Where do you stand?
What do you call it? Is there a name like the governor? I'll just ask the governor, something like that.
Oh, yeah. You call it the Euston-off. I'll just consult Euston-off. Rugby?
Let's write some unexpected ones in it, and he'll just be boobs!
So, Archbishop, what do you think about boobs? Oh, my God! I said boobs!
Right, David, come on.
Well, I don't think it's true.
I think it is true. I mean, look, you went to all the effort of doing it.
Well, someone did. Well, you think it's true and you think it's a lie. Is that right?
Yeah.
Decide.
I think it's a lie. My instinct is it's a lie.
It's a lie.
Yeah.
OK, Bill, truth or lie?
I'm immensely relieved to tell you that it is, in fact, a lie.
It's a lie. It's not Bill's conversation book that he refers to if he ever runs out of things to talk about. In fact, if Bill ever finds himself short of things to say, he just throws to Carol Kirkwood for a roundup of the weather. It's me. For 1 week, I appeared in a Dear Deirdre photo casebook in the Sun newspaper. Both teams are able to probe me. Although I'd be happiest if it was Lorraine.
Can I just clarify the Dear Deirdre is the sex thing where you have sex
You're in
problems
bed
and you're the photographs with the balloon coming out your mouth. And what are you doing? What's your relationship problem?
I was the husband.
What was the problem?
The wife was attracted to my friend.
Oh. And what face did you do?
I only realised at the very end.
Oh,
So most of the time I was being happy or vacant.
How did you find out in the story about the... that she fancied the...
I walked in on them. So I did
you walk in?
So I had to be shocked.
Face
Sorry.
to face.
I did vacant, happy, shocked and sad.
So I do happy.
Do vacant.
Shocked.
Shocked.
I just walked...
Do sad.
Sad.
Oh. Well, that's nasty. That looks pained.
Well, how would you feel? My best friend was in bed with my wife!
No, but I'm saying something. No, it doesn't look like you're upset. It looks like you're trying to pass something uncomfortable.
Let's imagine for a moment that Lorraine was my wife. Oh. She is having a relationship with the better-looking half of Mitchell & Webb, OK?
Right.
But he's not here, so we'll use David. Right? So the two of them... So get yourself in a position that might, you know...
Oh, we're having an affair, is
yes.
that the thing?
So we have to get closer.
I don't know how you do that.
Do it. I can sit on you.
Oh, all right.
Wow. I don't want to switch you.
OK.
In this scenario,
Am I waiting my turn?
Yeah. So I'm coming home. I'm about to give you shock. Truth or lie, Lee?
We can say lie, are we, Sue?
I think so.
Lie.
I think
OK.
so.
I don't think I can argue
Lie.
with that.
OK, David?
I think it's a lie.
You think it's a lie? OK, we'll say it's a lie.
You say it's a lie? Aha. It is, in fact, a lie. Well, that's all for now. Good night.